You're listening to the m.e.e.t Magazine Interviews radio show, and this is your host, m.e.e.t Magazine. Today is August 16th of 2015, and I have another great guest tonight, and I'm going to check to see if she's on the line. Hello?
Yo.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Yoshi, can you let the people know who you are and a little bit about what you do?
Okay, sure. Well, I would like to consider myself a reality TV blogger, but a lot of times celebrity blogger gets thrown into the mix as well. But my heart goes to music. I've been doing music since I was about 10 years old, rapping and writing, a lot of ghostwriting. So I'm just really excited, and I think that this year and next year is my year to really step out and try something different.
Hey, that sounds good. Hey, Yoshi, can you hold on for 1 second? I just wanted to ask the other caller. Now, I'm going to try to mute you, but if the phone line hangs up on you, just call right back in the other caller because I needed to clear the line for the interview portion. But I'll bring you back on the line if you wanted to ask my guest some questions. Is that cool? Okay, Yoshi? Okay, hello?
This is Yoshi.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, there was a lot of static on the line from the other caller, so I just wanted to make sure that I cleared that line so it wouldn't interrupt with the interview. How did you come up with the name Yoshi?
Well, I got that name in the high school about my junior year. I was pregnant, and I hid the pregnancy, but you could see it in my face. My cheeks would get chubby, and I would wear a backpack and a sweater every day. And the way I looked like a dinosaur walking. I looked like Yoshi basically. And so one of my friends' boyfriends started calling me that, and it started off as like a joke, and it just kind of stuck.
Wow, now that's an interesting story. Now, I know that that's your rap alias. So what I wanted to ask you was how long have you been rapping?
I've been rapping since I was about 10. I was inspired by my mom, who was a rapper in the 90s, and she just was awesome, but she never really had that big break because she had me so young. And so I kind of always wanted to live out that legacy for her.
Oh, okay, wow. So I guess the talent runs in the family. Have you and your mom ever collaborated on a song together?
No, because my lyrics seem to be a little bit vulgar, and even though my mom was vulgar herself, she doesn't appreciate it from her daughter. So.
Okay. Now, a lot of writers have a particular writing ritual, that helps them get the creative juices flowing. Some people will listen to their favorite musician's music, or some will go to the club to hear what's currently playing, or some people will smoke a little something. Do you have any rituals when you're writing your songs?
I'm sorry about that. Writing rituals. I like to be in the studio. I tend to write better when I'm in the studio as opposed to like at home. It's something about being in the environment of the studio that gets me going. I do like to smoke. It's something that I do consistently, so it's not anything that I would do in first, just for writing purposes. But yeah, I just like to be in the studio and kind of like hear it on those studio speakers and kind of like envision where I'm going with the song.
Okay, so you like to vibe with the beat when you write. Now, do you write
Yeah, I'm
pen?
big on music.
Oh, okay. Now, do you write with a pen and paper or on your phone, or do you write the rhymes in your head and kind of freestyle them? How do you go about memorizing your rhymes?
Yeah, I'm definitely with a pen and pad. I like to write it down. I like to get pretty much everything wrote out before I even step behind the booth. For the most part, I like to have it kind of memorized. But yeah, I like to be prepared, and I'm old school with it. I can't do it on like a tablet or anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's how I write too as well. There's I know that personally, there's something about writing with the pen and the pad that just feels more comfortable, and sometimes it's easier on the computer, to erase things and stuff like that. But I do feel more comfortable writing with a pen and a pad sometimes. It's just like I have to go back to that method. But now, I've heard a few of your songs, and why don't you let the people know who you're working with as far as musicians and producers goes?
Yeah. Well, that's one of the biggest things that I moved to Atlanta for is to network because I tend to be introverted, and a lot of people find it hard to believe, because I'm big on social media, I'm big on my blog, but that's like my outlet for being introverted in the real world is social media. So it's something I'm definitely working on. I want to network. So far since I've been in Atlanta, I worked with Nick Fury, who's a great producer, and we did a Freaky Tales remix of Too Short's Freaky Tales, which, I'm really looking forward to promoting that song. But, yeah, I'm really trying to get my feet wet and out here in Atlanta. They say this is like Black Hollywood, so I'm excited.
Absolutely. Now, do you have a manager at this time? Because a manager should be able to, help to link you up with some people.
I don't have management, and it's not that it's hard to find because there's a lot of great management here. I think that I kind of been running from whatever's calling out to me. So, I think I'm destined for it, but I've been running from it for a long time.
Oh, okay. Hey, well, m.e.e.t Faust is just one tweet away, MF Management. Of course, I'm just kidding. But,
yeah.
Now, are you signed to a record label at the moment?
I'm not, and a lot of times I've been kicking myself because I turned down a deal with a major label, a 360 deal, because I got such, bad feedback from 360, so I turned it down. And a lot of times, a lot of nights I'm sleepless, like, was that a mistake or should I have done that? So no record label. Just kind of doing my own thing and trying to see where it can go.
Okay. Yeah, I know, like, I personally heard some horror stories about dealing with major record labels, especially with these whole 360 deals. And from what I personally know, I would say, yeah, you can definitely do better than a 360. But, I mean, they're even offering 360s to veteran artists at this point to get the music out. But would you rather, like, if you had the choice, would you prefer to sign with the major or an independent label?
To be honest, at this point now that I've seen both sides of it, and I kind of feel like I really just want to do it for myself and not for fame, not for money, just for myself, I would take a major label just to have that power force behind me.
Yeah, that makes sense. I haven't heard that perspective for too many artists. Most people, would say that they would usually prefer to go with the indie, and I'm glad to hear you say that, because I do think that there are certain perks, like, for example, with distribution, that help the artist get out there when you're dealing with a major, as long as you have the right situation, like, you don't take too much of an advance or things like that. You just got to make sure you handle your business properly. Now, the thing about the rap music industry is that I remember back in the day, rap fans had so many female rappers to choose from. We had Lauryn Hill, Lil' Kim, Da Brat, Queen Latifah, just so many female MCs. But nowadays, the only real rap female superstar we have at the moment is Nicki Minaj. And I always thought that with the internet, female rappers would use it as a marketing and a promotional tool and whatnot, and we would see an increase in female rap stars. Do you think that things are harder or easier now for female rappers than they were back in the day?
I think harder or easier. I think it may have been a little bit easier back then because it was new. So we have hip-hop starting off, and hip-hop is exciting, and everybody wants to be a part of this world. So then we get females involved. So that's new, and that's exciting. And now we're, 20, 25 years later, and what's new and exciting now? We're just like, have we seen it all? So I think it's harder for anybody. I think the money's drying up, and at this point, it should mainly be about talent. That's what should make it stand out, because my thing about rapping is I'm not singing. I can't sing. So I should have something as far as lyrically or musically that makes me stand out from just rapping. I'm doing this rapping, and it's not like anybody can't rap if they don't have the lyrics or the support or wherever the case may be. So I just want to show creativity, another side of female hip-hop, creativity.
Right, absolutely. I think creativity is very important, and like you were saying, you need something to stand out. And one of the things that was really standing out in rap recently, and I don't mean to speak ill about the dead, but Drake or Meek Mill, who do you think won the battle?
I'm going to give it to Drake. Huge Drake fan. Been a huge Drake fan from when he first started, one of his early mixtapes. I'm going to have to give it to Drake. But, man, I just think Meek didn't try hard enough, you know. I don't think he didn't have it in him to put out some fire in response. I just think he didn't try hard enough. And I think he didn't think that it would be as big as a beef as it became. And so he maybe didn't think that he had to put out his best. But, hey, I'm going to give it to Drake.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely gave that one to Drake, too. I really wish that Meek Mill would have, I don't know if he needed more time to come up with something better than his record, but, I mean, everything seemed to go bad for him. I mean, even the WWE was mad at him because they sampled the Undertaker's theme from wrestling. The producer, that is, sampled it, Jalil Beats. The guy who made the Hot Boy beat for Bobby Shmurda. Originally it was made for Lloyd Banks, but Bobby Shmurda ended up using the beat. The same producer, he sampled the Undertaker beat, and there was some sort of legal drama. You know, it's just really crazy. But what I want to ask you is this. Now, with you being a Drake fan and feeling that Drake won, have you ever personally been in a rap battle at this point yourself?
You know, my only real rap battle beef was in college, and it was against my ex-boyfriend. And we were both rappers, so most of our time together was spent in the studio. And for some reason, when we broke up, he decided he wanted to make a diss record. And I, you know, decided I wanted to make one back. And it went on maybe like 3 or 4 records between the two of us. But it was amazing that, you know, my only real rap beef was with, you know, someone who I cared about.
Now, are those songs out there, or are they maybe somewhere stashed away?
I would be surprised if anybody had any of those songs. It was maybe, 7 years ago. And it was kind of, you know, just in between, like, the dorm rooms and in between a group of friends. But it was a serious deal to me because I gave my all to my disses. And, you know, that's why I just can't understand how Meek, you know, just laid down and let that happen.
Right. Now, that's really interesting. I would love to hear those songs. And if you ever have, like, Yoshi, the documentary, come out, I hope that those songs will resurface. Now, in the rap music genre, having someone else write your music is often looked down upon. You know, Nicki, Drake, Meek Mill, they're all, according to some people's words, have had some help from time to time from writers. Now, at this point in your career, have you or would you ever use a ghostwriter?
You know, I never really had the need at this point in my career. Like I told you, I've done a lot of ghostwriting and helped a lot of other people who I felt like, you know, could have potential, but, you know, just needed a little tweak here and tweak there. But I can see where it would be beneficial as a major artist when maybe you just having like a dry season and you just can't get that hit that you're looking for. I can see it with hooks because a lot of times that's my issue. I'm just writing these long verses and I'm like, where am I going to find a hook? Or I need a hot hook. But as far as like writing everything for you and you just come out there and spit it, I just think that's kind of lame because, like I said, rapping, anybody could basically do it.
Right. Now, speaking of writing, you're studying journalism, is that correct?
I am.
Okay. How does your education affect your work online as a blogger and a vlogger? Did studying journalism change your blogging or vlogging style?